No, Ricky, SMCI is not a shitty overvalued company. No, Ricky, this thing is going to continue to hold at 1,155. No, Ricky, this thing, it's going to continue to run up. It's not overbought. It's not overvalued. It's not going to crash 10, 15, 20% in just a few hours. Ricky, why? No, why would you ever say that? Why would you ever say that it's going to crash? It's not like it's done it in the past before, that it's lost 10, 20, or 30% in just a few hours, right? No, Ricky, no. Okay, maybe one time, but a second time? No, Ricky, it's not. Okay, well, maybe it did happen before, but Ricky, this time it's different. This is the best company ever that's been traded in the past. Ricky, this time it's different, Ricky. Yeah, no, this push that it had running up 50% almost in just a few days, it's totally normal. Like, this is nothing. This thing's going to be trading at $2,000 per share, Ricky. Ricky, why are you always so negative? Why do you always try to warn beginners to not fall for these pump and dumps? Why can't you just let them get trapped like the rest of us? Why? Why would you make someone aware that a stock could potentially pull on back? It's kind of like you're looking out for them, right? Kind of. Maybe. Crazy, right? What a crazy concept to look out for our beginners, especially in the stock market, especially when so many people are trying to pump and dump a stock. I hear it time and time again, and I often get the finger pointed like I'm the bad guy because I first off, never in my videos do I ever tell anyone what to do, right? I share my opinion and I share why. That's the biggest thing. I just want people to understand my why. And always it's for the intention for beginners, for them to be aware of when a stock is overbought or when a stock is oversold, that a reversal can happen. And I know this because I've experienced it. And I wish when I first got started, someone was making content that simply made me aware. At the end of the day, you're still the final decision maker on who chooses to either buy or hold or any of that good stuff, right? But I can't stress this enough. Absolute overhyped, absolute overvalued company. And I think that I truly do believe that this is just the beginning, right? You can see from its normal trading volume to its recent trading volume. Obviously, it has some good news. And obviously, it doesn't mean that it can't continue to rally from time to time. Just like AMC did it, just like GME did it. That's how pump and dumps work. It's all based off of momentum. But once that hype fades and once that momentum fades, then its true value ends up coming to light. So when it comes down to entering and exiting a position, just make sure that you know what you're doing. You don't want to get caught at the very top of these pump and dumps because then, like many Reddit traders, you're going to get caught bag holding all the way back down to 800, 700. And who knows, maybe this pullback can be even more, maybe in the 600s, right? Wouldn't really surprise me based off of how overhyped up this stock is. So unfortunate, but it is what it is. And also Bitcoin did make new highs today, 69,300. And just like we've said it before, people like to lock in profits. Smart people like to lock in profits. All greed aside, we are all here for the same reason. Everyone, I don't care what anyone says. When you're trading in the stock market, you're all here for the same reason, and that is to make money. If you're here for any other reason, you're a fool, right? I'm not here for a movement. I'm not here to stick it to the big guy. No, I'm here to make money. So no, it doesn't surprise me that once we make new all-time highs, that there is a flood of selling pressure because people know that, yeah, maybe it could continue to rally a little bit, but big picture, just in the past year itself, going from 18,000 to 69,000, smart people will lock in profits and they'll wait for the next correction and then dollar cost average into that again and let it rally. Let the fools feed into the hype, running the price even higher, just like any pump and dump, and then lock in profits at overbought levels. Sure, from 69,000, it might run up to, let's say, 75 or 80. That's great. That's, what is that? Less than 10% from where we are right now. Great. But they're not getting the big chunk, right? From the 18,000 all the way up to the 60,000. And that's the biggest difference. That is what separates those that understand how this how this movement works, how momentum works. It's super basic. I don't care if it's crypto. I don't care if it's the stock market. It's, you need to be aware when hype is present. And it's very unfortunate for those that are not, that think that it's something different. It's all the same thing. And it's just market momentum, market manipulation, knowing when to get in when no one else wants to, and knowing when to sell when everyone and their brother and sister are investing into Bitcoin to try to make a sliver versus the big margin that has already been made. NASDAQ market is also selling off. It's down 1.6% on the day. And it looks just like it's continuously bearish. Now, the market's not crashing. Market's just simply correcting itself. We talked about this just a few days ago. Again, always looking out for the beginner. Anytime market makes all-time highs, what do I make videos about? Hey, market's at all-time highs. Be aware that the market could pull on back. They're like, oh my God, Ricky, you're always, wanting the market to pull on back. No, idiot. We're making beginners aware that market's overbought to not feed into the hype, knowing that markets can correct themselves because it makes more sense to buy. Market's still incredibly bullish, but it makes more sense to buy at oversold levels with an ascending uptrend pattern than to buy at overbought levels, and then beginners experiencing these pullbacks, thinking that the market's against them, they're going to cut losses, and then guess what happens? Then market begins to recover. They're like, oh man, this market's rigged. This market's against me. No, you just didn't know how to properly enter and exit a trade successfully, right? You need to understand the market cycles, the way that it moves. But this isn't something that is done by listening to Reddit traders that just tell you to buy at overbought and all-time highs. They're not looking out for your best interests. And it's your job. That's really what it falls down on. It's your job to look out for yourself and your future self and making sure that you enter and exit effectively. And if you can't answer that question of what stocks to buy and when to buy them and when to sell them, then you're simply just not ready to trade, which means that you should be paper trading or really sizing down to not be afraid to make mistakes, to gain experience and to practice. So again, we talk about this every single morning within our live sessions. They're ideal for any beginners because we're focused on one thing and just making sure that beginners are aware of what they're getting themselves into. And if you're bag holding SMCI, if you're bag holding crypto, then again, you just got caught into the hype of purchasing at all-time highs while the real smart money made their money already and are locking in profits. You're on the tail end of that cycle. And it just takes time to understand that. But again, this is why we go live every morning. So I'd love to invite you to our live session. It's the second link in the description down below. It's 50% off. And for those that see value in it, I'll see you tomorrow at Market Open. I hope that I earned your thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And for those that got offended based off of my comments on SMCI, go find a big rock and kick it because, again, it's not going to change anything. We've talked about this. We've made you aware. We've shown you previous patterns where it corrects 30 to 20%. And if you still haven't learned your lesson, then again, don't worry. This market will humble you. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.